Have you ever wondered what would happen if Kia, a brand known for comfort, reliability, and innovation, suddenly decided to step into the wild world of pickup trucks? Not just any pickup, but one bold enough to challenge the toughest in the game? Well, that moment has arrived. Meet the 2026 Kia Tasman, a name that's been whispered in auto circles for months, but now it's coming in loud and clear. And it's not just showing up, it's showing up with power, presence, and purpose. The kind of machine that doesn't just aim to compete, it aims to dominate. Stick with this video till the end, because we're unpacking what makes the Tasman one of the most anticipated pickups of the decade and possibly the most powerful Kia has ever built. You'll want to hear all the juicy specs, performance insights, and where this truck could fit in the bigger picture. If you're a true car enthusiast, you won't want to miss a single detail. Let's rewind just a little. Kia, as a brand, has grown up fast. Not long ago, it was the choice for budget-friendly sedans. Then came the Telluride, a full-size SUV that stunned everyone by combining luxury with muscle. It changed perceptions almost overnight. Kia isn't just playing catch-up anymore. They're setting new standards. Now with the Tasman, Kia is diving headfirst into one of the most competitive segments in the auto world, the mid-size and full-size pickup truck category. A space traditionally ruled by titans like Ford Ranger, Toyota Hilux, Chevy Colorado, and Nissan Navara. But what makes the Tasman interesting is not just that it's new, it's the fact that it's arriving at a time when truck buyers are craving something fresh, something powerful, tech-savvy, and different. Truck lovers don't just buy horsepower, they buy identity. Psychology tells us that for most truck owners, the vehicle is an extension of their values: strength, freedom, capability, and reliability. The pickup isn't just a tool, it's a lifestyle badge. Kia knows this. That's why the Tasman is not just being built to compete, it's being engineered to connect. What's fascinating is how Kia is building this emotional connection before the truck even hits showrooms. The name Tasman itself is inspired by the Tasman Sea, the rugged waters between Australia and New Zealand. This hints at its target markets, especially Australia, where off-road culture is not just a trend, it's a way of life. And with Kia already teasing off-road potential and diesel engine power, it's clear they've done their homework. Car enthusiasts, especially pickup lovers, aren't swayed by hype. They look for engineering proof. They value performance stats, real-world durability, and street credibility. But what makes this story different is the anticipation. Usually, Kia plays it safe. But the Tasman is being described by early insiders as Kia's most daring move yet. That's no small statement. Let's talk emotions for a moment. Studies in consumer psychology show that anticipation and novelty trigger the same brain centers as reward. And that's exactly where the Tasman is winning, before it even rolls out. The suspense of what Kia is hiding under the hood, the speculations about a turbocharged diesel engine, the leaked designs showing a bold, muscular frame. It all creates a powerful mental image. Car lovers feed off curiosity. They want to know what's next. And this truck in many ways is offering something the market has lacked. A powerful new option from a brand with something to prove. Think about the timing too. With electric trucks like the Cybertruck grabbing headlines, and traditional gas trucks getting more luxurious but less rugged, the Tasman arrives as a kind of throwback to raw utility, with modern intelligence baked in. It may not be electric yet, but it seems to promise real-world performance that speaks to both old-school truck fans and new-age explorers. But here's the part that matters most. Kia knows they can't just make a pickup and expect loyal truck drivers to switch. The brand has to earn their trust mile by mile. That's why early reports suggest Kia is investing heavily into real durability testing, towing capacity, and off-road readiness, not just glossy marketing. They want to build a truck that feels right the moment you sit in it. Psychologically, this matters. Car lovers, especially truck owners, want to feel confidence behind the wheel. They want to know that what they drive can handle more than just the daily commute. That it can climb, haul, drag, push, pull, and roar when needed. That's a bond you can't fake. And if Kia gets it right, the Tasman might not just enter the market, it might redefine Kia's image altogether. So what's in it for you, the viewer? Over the rest of this video, we'll break down the Tasman's expected powertrain, its design philosophy, the cutting-edge tech inside, and its position in the competitive market. But here's a quick teaser. Some reports suggest it could offer more torque than the Toyota Hilux and more tech than the Ford Ranger. Tempting, right? Stay with us. Because what comes next will tell you exactly why this truck is turning heads, and whether it truly has what it takes to be the most powerful pickup Kia has ever dared to create. Underneath the bold frame of the 2026 Kia Tasman lies the part that truly matters to real truck lovers, the powertrain. Because in the world of pickups, looks will turn heads but power moves hearts. And what Kia is preparing under the hood may surprise even longtime skeptics of the brand. At the core of the Tasman's engineering is a reported inline-six turbo diesel engine, likely a 3.0-liter unit. Diesel isn't going anywhere in markets where torque and towing rule the game. Especially in Australia and parts of Asia-Pacific, a strong diesel engine is still the gold standard for utility vehicles. That's because diesel offers the low-end torque needed for serious off-road climbing, hauling heavy loads, and towing long distances without stress. Early rumors suggest this inline-six could deliver up to 282 horsepower and over 600 Nm of torque, which places it in direct competition with some of the most respected players in the segment, like the Ford Ranger Raptor and Toyota Hilux GR Sport. But raw numbers only tell part of the story. What excites car enthusiasts more is how the power is delivered. A smooth, well-balanced inline-six provides more consistent torque across the RPM band. This means better off-road traction, more confidence when pulling uphill, and greater control when driving through challenging terrains like gravel, mud, or snow. Kia seems to be focusing not just on peak numbers, but on real-world usability, a critical factor that seasoned pickup drivers pay attention to. It's not just the engine. Kia is reportedly pairing it with an 8-speed automatic transmission, tuned for both responsiveness and durability. In psychological terms, this matters because drivers want a truck that doesn't just react, it predicts. That means smarter gear changes during uphill drives, tighter control when descending, and a transmission that knows how to manage torque without losing efficiency. But performance is not just about speed or strength.
It's about versatility.
And this is where Tasman seems to be carving its identity. Sources close to development hint at multiple drive modes: standard, sport, snow, mud, and towing. This kind of setup speaks directly to the modern truck owner who doesn't just want a one-dimensional workhorse. They want a multi-role vehicle. One that feels just as capable towing a trailer as it does cruising on the highway or heading into the wilderness for a weekend escape. And yes, towing capacity matters. While Kia hasn't officially released numbers, industry insiders suggest the Tasman could handle up to 3.5 tons of towing capacity, matching the class benchmark set by rivals like the Ranger and Amarok. This level of capability is a psychological trigger for truck fans. It signals trust. It tells the driver, you're covered no matter what you need to move. Then there's the chassis. Reports indicate a ladder frame construction, which immediately sets this apart from unibody SUVs pretending to be pickups. Ladder frames offer greater rigidity, essential for off-roading and load-bearing. Add to this a multi-link rear suspension, and Kia could be hitting the sweet spot between ruggedness and ride comfort. Truck owners want that feeling of invincibility, but they also want refinement when the workday ends. Of course, performance without control is dangerous. That's why brake technology and off-road safety systems are being taken seriously. Rumors point to an electronic limited slip differential, hill descent control, and a full suite of terrain management systems. These features aren't just gimmicks, they're confidence boosters. For many drivers, especially those transitioning from city driving to rural or industrial tasks, these tools provide the psychological assurance they need to take the truck into more challenging situations. Another layer of interest is the possibility of multiple powertrain options. Some expect a 2L4-cylinder diesel variant for fleet or entry-level buyers, focusing more on fuel efficiency and lower emissions. While not the star of the show, such options make the Tasman more accessible, widening its appeal and increasing market presence. And for certain buyers, that psychological factor of choosing what suits me matters just as much as performance itself. Kia is also rumored to be exploring future hybrid or mild hybrid technology. While the initial release may focus on traditional combustion engines, laying the groundwork for electrification shows forward thinking. And again, that speaks to today's car lover, the kind who respects tradition but also expects innovation. The powertrain story wouldn't be complete without talking about refinement. Truck owners are no longer willing to accept rattling cabins, clunky gear changes, or harsh suspension just because a truck is tough. They want quiet cabins, smart power delivery, and road manners that reflect modern engineering. If Kia manages to deliver smooth torque delivery, refined handling, and minimal cabin noise, it will earn massive credibility. The Tasman, at its core, seems built for emotionally intelligent performance. Not just brute force, but usable strength. Not just acceleration, but control. It's the kind of power that makes the driver feel in charge but not overwhelmed. And psychologically, that's what truck lovers crave: confidence, dominance, and control. Everything about the Tasman's rumored powertrain points to this central idea. Kia isn't just trying to make a pickup, they're trying to make a statement. One that says they understand what makes a real truck tick, and more importantly, what makes truck owners connect with their machines on a deeper level. When you grip the steering wheel of a real pickup, you don't just feel the engine, you feel a sense of purpose. If the Tasman delivers even half of what these specs promise, Kia might just create that emotional bond. The kind that turns first-time buyers into lifelong fans. Performance is only part of the equation. What turns a powerful truck into a desirable one is how it looks, how it feels, and how intelligently it works with the driver. That's where the 2026 Kia Tasman starts to stretch beyond expectations. Because this isn't just a machine built for strength. It's been designed to make a lasting impression, inside and out. From the very first leaked images, one thing stands out. This is not a truck trying to copy others. The Tasman brings its own identity. The wide stance, muscular arches, and sharp LED lighting signature hint at something aggressive, but not overdone. It's balanced, striking that middle point between rugged and refined. According to early design notes, the front grille takes inspiration from nature and machinery. It's bold, confident, and instantly recognizable. That's not by accident. Automotive psychology tells us that humans respond emotionally to form. A tall, upright stance signals power. A wide front profile suggests control and dominance. Sharp angles mixed with smooth curves give off a feeling of modern capability. Truck lovers don't just want utility, they want a vehicle that looks like it can handle anything, even before it moves. The proportions of the Tasman also serve a function. A long wheelbase means better high-speed stability. Short front and rear overhangs help with approach and departure angles off-road. In simple terms, it's designed to go where others hesitate. That's a subtle but powerful message for drivers who value exploration, adventure, or just want to feel ready for anything. But what's inside the cabin might be even more impressive. Gone are the days when truck interiors were purely utilitarian. Today's buyers expect comfort, convenience, and cutting-edge tech. And Kia knows this. Sources say the Tasman will feature a fully digital instrument cluster paired with a large central touchscreen, likely running the same updated infotainment system used in the Sorento and Telluride.
This isn't just about looking good.
It's about making the driving experience smarter. That includes integrated off-road displays, showing pitch, roll, wheel articulation, and differential lock status. For those who take their trucks into the wild, this kind of information isn't a luxury, it's essential. And even for daily drivers, it creates a psychological sense of preparedness. It tells you, whatever lies ahead, you're in control. Materials matter too. Truck buyers have evolved. They want durable materials, but also expect refinement. So expect the Tasman to blend scratch-resistant surfaces with soft-touch panels, leather-wrapped options, and ergonomic seats. Everything within reach should feel deliberate. Whether you're wearing work gloves or just commuting in comfort, the truck should feel natural to operate. That tactile feedback is a core part of how drivers connect emotionally with their vehicles. There's also a growing demand for connectivity, not just for phones, but for the entire driving experience. The Tasman is expected to support wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, along with multiple USB-C ports, wireless charging, and possibly 5 grams ready telematics. That may sound technical, but what it really means is less distraction, more connection. Drivers stay focused, informed, and entertained without ever feeling overwhelmed. And for those who view their truck as a mobile workstation or weekend base camp, Kia is reportedly integrating clever storage solutions. Think under-seat storage, lockable compartments, and modular cargo rails in the bed. These aren't gimmicks. They solve real-world problems. Whether you're hauling tools, camping gear, or groceries, the Tasman is built to adapt. Tech isn't just for entertainment, it's also about safety. And Kia has a strong reputation here. Expect the Tasman to come with advanced driver assistance systems like lane keeping assist, adaptive cruise control, blind spot monitoring, and 360-degree cameras. But the standout could be Kia's terrain sensing system, which adjusts traction control and throttle response based on surface feedback in real time. This isn't just engineering, it's psychology in motion. Because nothing builds trust like a vehicle that seems to understand you. When your truck senses a slippery hill or uneven terrain and adjusts before you react, it creates confidence. And confidence creates loyalty. Even ambient features play a role. Soft LED cabin lighting, customizable driver profiles, and smart climate zones all feed into the emotional comfort of the driver and passengers. When a truck doesn't just perform but also makes you feel calm, capable, and in control, that's when it stops being just a vehicle. It becomes part of your identity. Then there's the exterior utility. Kia appears to be taking cues from global trends, possibly offering a power-assisted tailgate, integrated bed lighting, and even external 110 volts or 240 volts power outlets for tools or camping gear. This speaks directly to the active lifestyle audience. For people who use their trucks for both work and play, these features are more than conveniences. They're enablers. And perhaps the smartest design choice of all, simplicity. Kia seems to be avoiding overcomplication. No gimmicky knobs, no confusing layouts, just intuitive, practical controls that focus on the user. That's a subtle nod to psychology again. When people feel in control, they feel more attached to the product. So when we look at the 2026 Kia Tasman, we're not just seeing a new pickup. We're seeing a deeply considered response to what modern truck drivers actually want. Strength with intelligence, function wrapped in style, a vehicle that performs under pressure, yet provides comfort during the calm. This is how a brand earns loyalty, not through flashy ads or loud promises, but by building something that understands the mind of the driver. And for Kia, that may be their greatest strength yet. A truck like the Kia Tasman doesn't just show up and disappear. It makes waves, because it's entering a space dominated by deeply rooted loyalty, established reputations, and decades of brand recognition. So when a new name tries to break into the pickup world, people naturally ask, will it survive? But the real question might be, can it change the game? Kia is no stranger to challenging the status quo. The Telluride redefined what families expect from a three-row SUV.
The EV6 reshaped the conversation around electric crossovers.
Now, with the Tasman, Kia is entering one of the most competitive, emotionally charged segments in the auto industry. A market where loyalty is everything, and most buyers have already chosen their side. Ford, Toyota, Nissan, Chevy. These names carry heritage. But sometimes heritage can make space for something new, especially when that new arrival speaks the language of power, purpose, and practicality. Let's talk about timing. The global pickup market is shifting fast. Some buyers want electrification, others want no-nonsense diesel power. Some want weekend adventure, others want full-time work utility. The Tasman is arriving at a moment where the segment is more fragmented and more open than ever before. In that kind of environment, a well-balanced, high-performance newcomer can thrive. Early production details hint at a strong commitment. Kia is reportedly building the Tasman in South Korea with potential production lines in Australia or Thailand for localized support. That's a strategic move. It shows long-term thinking. You don't build a new truck plant for a short-term experiment. You do it when you plan to be a real player in the market. And car buyers notice that kind of confidence. Pricing speculation puts the Tasman somewhere between $45,000 and $65,000 USD, depending on trim and drivetrain options. That places it squarely between core mid-size pickups like the Toyota Hilux and premium off-road variants like the Ford Ranger Raptor. If Kia delivers on its promise of tech, power, and utility, this price point could hit the psychological sweet spot where value meets performance. Buyers in this segment don't mind spending money. What they mind is feeling like they got less than what they paid for, and that's where the Tasman could win big. By offering more features, more strength, and more tech for the same price or less, it flips the value equation. It tells the customer, you're not settling, you're upgrading. But breaking into the market isn't just about specs and features, it's about identity. For many truck owners, the vehicle is a symbol of their work, their independence, their lifestyle. And Kia understands this isn't just a business decision, it's a cultural one. That's why the branding, the design language, and even the name Tasman are carefully chosen to align with rugged environments, capable performance, and emotional toughness. Australia is expected to be one of the launch markets, and that's no coincidence. In Australia, pickup trucks, known as utes, aren't just tools, they're everywhere. From outback trails to construction sites to urban commutes. The demands placed on these vehicles are relentless, and loyalty to brands like Toyota and Ford runs deep. But so does the desire for something new that doesn't compromise on heritage. If the Tasman proves itself on Australian soil, it will earn a level of credibility that marketing alone can't buy. The US market could follow, although mid-size pickups are more niche there. Still, Kia could leverage its North American network to test the waters in areas where off-road culture is strong. Colorado, Utah, Texas. If demand grows, the Tasman could expand its footprint even further. But what happens if Kia succeeds? The ripple effect could reshape expectations. Other automakers may be forced to step up. More features as standard, more tech integration, better base engines, stronger chassis without compromising comfort. In that sense, the Tasman doesn't just compete, it elevates the entire category. This isn't a pipe dream. History shows us how fast reputations can change. Think about how Hyundai went from economy cars to launching the N-Series performance line. Think about how Tesla redefined the luxury segment without building a single combustion engine. The automotive world rewards boldness when it's backed by execution. And that's what the Tasman seems to be, a bold step with real engineering behind it. Then there's the psychology of being the underdog. In many ways, it works in Kia's favor. Expectations are lower, but curiosity is high. That means every time someone gets behind the wheel, every time a towing test proves its capability, every time it handles rough terrain without breaking a sweat, it surprises people. That element of surprise creates trust, and trust turns into loyalty. Truck buyers aren't easy to win over, but when they do commit, they don't switch easily. If the Tasman earns that trust early on, it won't just gain market share, it will build a new type of following, one built on proof, not promises. And in today's world, where attention spans are short and competition is fierce, proof is everything. This truck may not wear a legacy badge.
It may not have decades of history behind it.
But maybe that's the point. The Tasman represents a future that respects tradition, but isn't afraid to improve on it. And that speaks to a deeper human truth. People love what surprises them, what empowers them, and what earns their respect. So as the 2026 Kia Tasman gears up for its official launch, one thing is clear. It's not just entering the pickup world. It's reshaping how we think about it. Not with noise, but with presence. Not with gimmicks, but with substance. And if that's not powerful, what is?